Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariel Wright. I'm a current senior studying computer science at Harvard University and a former quant in cryptocurrency at Goldman Sachs. Earlier this year, Donald Trump tweeted about negotiations with the trade war falling through. As a result, one man with one single tweet moved down the S&P 500 by 4% in just 2 days. That is approximately $90 billion in losses across our nation. However, JP Morgan was not as impacted as they have an automated index to track Trump and his tweets. However, this isn't the only case. Earlier this year, Boeing had a plane crash which led their stock to drop by 5%, equating to $10 billion in losses in 24 hours. However, there are very simple algorithmic trading tools out there that can work on these scenarios. But 7% of our world can code, and 85% of the stock market is led by machines. Where does that leave everyone else? From your everyday TD Ameritrade trader to your private wealth manager at a $10 billion fund who has never touched a computer. These people are being left behind, which is why we created StrattyX. StrattyX is democratizing algorithmic trading. We do this by creating tools for everyday investors who cannot code to automate, create, and test scenarios on their portfolio. I can show you a bit about how it works. Let's move to demo. So StrattyX is actually brokerage agnostic, meaning you can bring on your own broker. And today we're going to be using our Robinhood. We're going to create a new strategy using a stock called Vivint. Vivint essentially works in the solar panel space. We're going to go for 10 shares. And from there, notice how in our interface, it allows you to buy when and sell when, giving you an indication that you can create rules to protect and also take advantage of opportunities. You can use these rules in Forex, Twitter, price change, etc. From there, we can create our buy solution. In this case, we decided that we wanted to buy whenever there's things surrounding green tech, the 2020 election, as well as materials for climate change in the space as keywords. These are a few of them that you can use. You can also choose a sell condition. And from there, we decided today that we wanted to actually sell under conditions of maybe geopolitical instability. So when Trump or trade war or maybe materials surrounding impeachment are presented in the news. Awesome. Great. Why don't we have a look at what the backtest gives us? StrattyX is unlike any other tool in the space, as we have an internal proprietary scripting language that allows us to not only be able to trade on singular dynamic or maybe formal true or false materials for our backtest. Our scripting language is Turing complete, which means that we can create a strategy for anything in the world. Our backtest gave us approximately 9% gains. Oh, not bad. With this price of the stock being actually dropping by 2.9%, meaning that not only under different conditions did the stock perform, our strategy also was able to generate gains. StrattyX also has tools to be able to protect you, such as manual triggers, as well as automated stop loss and other materials. Great. From there, you can just give it a name, date, etc. All right, let's move back to our slides. Great. So we have a subscription model ranging from free to day trader, and then enterprise for other types of clients. Our market essentially centers around the $52 billion that trades between the 100 million everyday investors in the tool space. And because we're software and we are brokerage agnostic, we have the capability to reach investors globally, approximately 500 million. What differentiates us from our competitors is that not only are we easy to use, but we offer the ability to backtest, give you formal, full autonomy, and we are brokerage agnostic. People have taken notice as we've garnered over 10,000 people on our wait list, have spent $0 in marketing, and our current beta has a net promoter score of 7.5. Our team is made up of a team of internationally renowned researchers, Harvard computer scientists, engineers, and bankers. We've worked on portfolios as large as $200 million, and have been a huge passion for the space. StrattyX is democratizing algorithmic trading. Traders, investors, go to StrattyX today to reclaim your alpha. Thank you.
Judges.
Yeah. So I have a question as someone who doesn't trade, but maybe might end up being one of your 100 million everyday traders in the startup
Over
pack.
there? Okay.
How are you guys testing or trying to understand really who's addressable in that 100 million? Because one of the things you had up was full autonomy. So does someone in the starter area really want full autonomy, or is it actually too confusing? What are you seeing from the beta?
Yeah, so essentially from our beta, we've discovered a couple of things. So number one, you are not exactly correct, but number two, simulation tends to be the most interesting part of our platform. And many people have been open to what we've been sort of working on in our StrattyX marketplace that allows users to essentially park their money at an already existing either wealth manager or already existing strategist strategy, and from there then automate. So we've been thinking about and coming up with solutions really to help for this problem as well.
Congrats. In terms of your beta, just building on Nisha's question, what are some of the key insights that you've taken away? How long was the beta? How many users? And how is that impacting how you're thinking about product features in the future?
Right. So actually, our beta was 200 users, and it was a little over a month and a half was our latest cohort. And from there, we discovered, like we said, the backtesting was one of the most interesting features. And since we already knew and sat down and built with the idea of long-term in mind, coming up with materials such as what we like to call internally the extension system that allows people to almost use StrattyX as a Wix for algorithmic trading, where you can literally create any tool that you'd like from our interface, is something that we've discovered has been interesting. And that particular interest has come from more so larger clients, so like your wealth managers, your hedge funds, et cetera, as well as the everyday trader.
And you say you have 10,000 people on the wait list. How did they hear about you?
A mixture of Discord and Reddit is where the seed sort of started. Essentially, that's sort of where we discovered a lot of inbound has come from. Outside of that, we are college students, so hearing about a mixture of our startup journey and also chatting with other friends and whatever has really built the waitlist a lot. And with our new email list also, this definitely pushed it out.
And what are the threads on Reddit that people talk about you? What's the circumstance?
Particularly algo trading. I know you guys are probably out there looking at us on algo trading Reddit, so so particularly algo trading Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and a few others are also places where people tend to throw us out of nowhere.
And is there something that you wish your software could do that it can't today, but you're developing? Where's it going?
Yeah, so one of the things that, well, frankly, because the internal scripting language is Turing complete, there's nothing it technically can't do in the realm of computer science. But one thing that we are working on is being able to make sure that our desktop clients can actually work with our mobile clients. So private wealth managers actually have the capability to use and have fintech tools that they can have for bespoke portfolios in the space. It's actually a pilot that we're building up a pool now for, and we're super excited to keep pushing that forward.
To take that one step further, when you dream the dream of what your business becomes, let's say 10 years from now, what does it stand for and what is it doing for what group of people?
So when we say we want to democratize algorithmic trading, we mean that seriously. Yeah. So if one day the whole market is not only 85%, but now like 99% bots, we will then work on solutions and materials to be able to help mitigate whatever the side effects of that would be. So taking the concept and the idea of algorithmic trading holistically from its core is what we're sort of focused on.
So you said you haven't spent any money on marketing right now.
Yes.
I guess you guys are raising. Tell us a little bit about what that go-to-market strategy looks like and how you plan to acquire customers.
So we definitely ground it, divided in a couple of plays. So number one is our formal B2C. So continuing to sort of nurture the community that we've developed around our platform is the number one thing we're pushing for. We have our own sort of email list. We also have developed different learning materials, and we'll continue to sort of spread our word amongst the different Discord and Reddits of the world. And then for our sort of B2C, B2B, we actually have had people reach out to us organically, which is very interesting. So we'll probably continue just utilizing that mechanism and like pushing for referrals, with referrals being an overarching thing, obviously, for both, since it's been successful in other spaces.
On the B2B side, do you think it's going to be more smaller trading shops as opposed to the big ones? And I guess what's underlying that question is what's really different and really hard about what you've built? Can a JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or whoever put a lot of resources to it, tweak whatever they're doing now because they're using similar technology and arrive where you are?
Yeah, so essentially I can break this question up into sort of two parts. I'll focus on the first, small mom and pop shops. So you're correct about, yes, a lot of the inbounds tend to be from simple manual trading prop shops that are currently existing now and realize that they need a solution because their analysts don't know how to program or code. So they reach out to us asking, oh, cool, you have a solution. Next, for the large JPMs in your formal maybe GSs, et cetera, for those, they do find value in us in the future. More so when we reach a formal climax in terms of not only users, but also insight about the market. From there, we can then use our sort of federated learning models that we've been developing sort of in-house to be able to provide more insights going forward in the market.
All right, one more round of applause for StrattyX.